1690 AM.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, the most positive business talk show in America. Best-selling authors of Lists That Saved My Business and founders of the Extreme Customer Service Directory, Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer, are inspiring you to get your business right. They know the customer experience isn't just another thing, it's the only thing. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Hello and welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us for ours. This is the home of positive business talk, and we empower you to build your brand.
Nobody does it better than you. We've been creating influencers since 2008. All right. So, Eric, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
About the last new product that you tried. Can you think about the last new product?
The last new product that I tried.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Something you tried?
Yeah.
How'd you find out about it? You don't want to tell me? You don't want to tell me? Did someone tell you? I found it
on the shelf.
Did somebody tell you about it? Was it an elf?
No, it wasn't an elf. That guy's no good.
Did you Google it?
No.
Did you go to a website to see what people had to say about
Just
it?
found it on a shelf.
You just found it on a shelf?
Yeah.
Oh, well then.
Walking by.
You were shopping. You were shopping.
I was actually shopping.
You were actually shopping? Yeah. When was the last time you did that?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. You weren't actually, you're not actually a shopper, but most of the times, if we're going to try something new or have a great new product and something we've never tried before, it's because somebody recommended it to us, right?
Absolutely.
Right? A friend, a family member, maybe our favorite social media influencer.
Yes.
I've bought more things because of my favorite social media influencers, a trusted expert, maybe even a credible media outlet, your favorite radio host.
Absolutely.
Somebody you trust.
Yep.
A brand or an organization that you trust recommended something, so you went out and bought it. For example, our new webcam. Our new webcam was recommended to us by a friend, somebody that we trust. We've got a whole new studio set up and scene for you if you're watching us on Facebook Live. We hope you like the new dig. All right, but here's the thing. When it used to be that media outlets and review sites were the only places for us to find recommendations. Used to be. But now anyone can become a social media influencer and a megaphone for a brand.
And they are. Mm-hmm. The newest trend for 2018 is micro influencers and how they are affecting the market.
Right? Google Trends says in the last 2 years, the quote unquote phrase influencer marketing has risen by 400%.
And we're just at the tip of the iceberg, folks.
You bet.
It literally, influencer marketing is the hottest talked about thing in every market. Forbes, Adweek, Inc.com, all of them.
All of them. Experience Pros too. All right. Well, here's what Forbes.com says is the greatest thing about being an influencer in marketing is you can kill 3 birds. Three with one stone. Creating great content.
You need great content. Everything that you do has to be, has to have value, has to give results.
But you have it. This is your intellectual property. You have been learning, you've been reading, you've been researching, educating, going to conferences. You are an expert. You have so much intellectual property, but we just need to get it out.
Right.
The second stone is earning credibility.
Earning credibility is so critical because your credibility is directly attached to whether or not people will follow you. What is an influencer if that person isn't being followed by anybody?
And the third stone is gaining even more exposure. So how do you actually get people to talk about your business, or how do you become an influencer? Well, here's a couple of tips again from Forbes.com.
All right.
Most of the time, in order to get people to talk about you or to have people pay you to talk about them, right? There's a lot of compensation usually happening, and you need to be a celebrity. Yeah,
if you're Ashton Kutcher, there's usually a few zeros, like 3 or 4 zeros, maybe 5 or 6 zeros. That go along with his influence.
So when my husband and I, when we met in the Amway business.
Right.
And at the time, they would tell us that in order to grow the business, we had to pass out 30 of these prospecting tapes to set up 10 appointments to get to clients.
Right. It's all a numbers game.
It's a numbers game. It's all in the math. But here's what's impacting this today. You don't have enough time to go out there just to get 2 by the end of the month.
And not to mention the fact nobody has cassette tapes anymore.
You don't have cassette tapes anymore?
Well, my Jeep does.
So here are a couple things you can do in order to become a master influencer in 2018. Number one, create a valuable experience.
Listen, influencers have built their reputation by meeting other people of influence. And if you create an experience that allows influencers to network with other influencers, you're going to have the opportunity to build a personal relationship with them. Okay.
Right. Influencers connecting and networking with other influencers.
And maybe, just maybe, they will talk about your product and or service on social media. That shouldn't be your goal, though. Your goal should be to raise awareness for what you do and to start to build the relationship. How long have we been on the air? Since 2009, 8.5 years, right? Yep. And here, we always said every single time, you gotta have the relationship.
We've been experts at helping people create this community and this awareness of this relationship. We actually have a Facebook group, and you can join our Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, check it out, Experience Pros Network. And we actually have an incredible group of influencers.
Absolutely.
To network with other influencers.
You know, the next point is that you need to go where they offer exposure, right? An influencer offers exposure.
You know, this is where we become the nation's best secret, right? We're not really creating exposure for our business. We're networking with the same 5 people we network with every single week, right? We've been in the same networking groups that we've always been in.
And what is it they say? If you do the same thing, you're going to get the same results.
You need to swim in a bigger pond. We need more exposure. And again, you're not necessarily going to get that with your time networking one-to-one. This is where one-to-many and creating media exposure that allows for this one-to-many in order to grow your influence.
This Forbes article also talks a little bit about the fact that, you need to share other people's information and content in order to be valuable to them. So often, and this is the classic mistake for the entrepreneur and the solopreneur, is they want to know what's in it for me. They're always doing what's good for them instead of reversing the thought process and doing what's good for the people that they're trying to win the influence from.
Eric, this is that shift that has to happen, and why it's taken so long. Influencer marketing it's not new, but the reason why it's taken entrepreneurs so long to figure it out is because we always want to know what's in it for me. What am I getting out of it? Where's my return on investment? I put $1 in, I want $2 out, and I want it like that.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't.
In what other natural scenario does it work like that?
Nothing happens. And I don't know why. We just think we'll open up a business, and if I build it, they will come and they'll come back and they'll bring their friends. It doesn't work that way. And there is a mindset that has to shift in what you're doing to serve the community, to help others, to lift others up, to add value. And this is where that influencer, it's not selling. You're influencing. You're making an impact in the world.
If you want an influencer to help you, ask them for help. I mean, literally ask them for help. And if you are the influencer, don't be ashamed to step up and say, I am willing to help.
Here's an interesting quote from Seth Godin when it comes to influencer marketing. He says, marketing is a contest for people's attention.
It's true.
Contest for people's attention. So what are you most likely to pay attention to? A person or an organization that you know and trust, or a person that is just trying to sell you something?
Right.
So we have to become that influencer that is somebody that people know and trust. They think about you. They look to you. They look for your guidance. They want your stamp of approval, and they want to see you've already created your circle of friends, your influence, your friend circle, right? Your friends, relatives, associate networks, and customers. You've created this sphere of influence. But now we have to take it one step further and stop figuring out what am I getting from my sphere of influence to how can I serve?
How can I serve? What can I give? What can I do without the expectation of return, but any more than the development of a relationship? What goes around does come around. Karma does really work in that regard, folks, but you've got to make sure that you are in the mind space to serve. The next one is to hire a spokesperson or a speaker. Now, if you are the influencer, that's you. But if you are looking for influencers to help you grow your brand, then you hire them, right? So, Angel, we are here. We don't call ourselves influencers, but we have been creating influencers since 2008.
We have. And so once you become that influencer, you then will be solicited to become a spokesperson. You could become a spokesperson or a speaker, invited to speak on other people's stages, invited to share your blog and your content on other people's media. And so people will seek you out when they see that you have value to share. We do this all the time. We do it naturally. We don't really think of it as necessarily a business model. But if we're going to follow the biggest marketing trend in 2018, we're going to capitalize on being an influence marketer.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We come back. More positive business talk. You're listening to Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer. This is the Experience Pros radio show where we empower you to build your brand. You know, I'm all about fitness. Fitting this pizza into my mouth. We'll be back after this.
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the Experience Pros radio show. Contact them on the web at experiencepros.com.
KDMT, Denver's Money Talk.